Welcome to a Sunday reset vlog here at the pharmacist. My name is Alex, and today we're gonna do a few things to try to get myself ready for another work week. I started the day with 4 shots of espresso, made some coffee, and finished this book, Dead 11 by Jimmy Giuliano, and I have some thoughts. On it. I'll talk about my thoughts later. I think you can see by my reaction when I finished it how I felt about it. Basically, my short version of my thoughts is this was an over 400-page book where nothing happened. I feel that it was way too much of a slow burn for a horror book, and what I was most excited about was the 90s vibes, but they just like force-fed you everything. I don't know. I have to collect my thoughts and come back to it. We're gonna talk about this later. But yeah, I finished this, so it's done, it's over. I've moved on, kind of, except for when I talk about it later. So yeah, I finished this. My plans for the day are to kind of try to get myself put back together from the weekend for another work week. I typically like to try to fill in my planner with what I want to do for the week, what tasks I have to get done. I'm trying really hard to be better about sticking to my planner and my goals, but me trying to romanticize my life and get my shit together is a pretty new thing for the last couple of months. I've reduced a lot of other stressors in my life. I left a part-time job that I was doing at a home infusion pharmacy that just wasn't for me, and now I'm just focusing on my full-time pharmacist job at a long-term care pharmacy, which I really enjoy. I'm really enjoying it. The hours are great. I work with wonderful people. I'm doing something that I'm passionate about as far as like pharmacy practice goes, servicing a community of, we service like nursing homes and skilled facilities where people, it's typically elderly people, have been released from a hospital, but they still need a little bit more care before they go home. That is the community that we're servicing in my current job, and it just makes me feel really good when I go home at the end of the day. And though I still be getting yelled at by nurses. If you're a nurse, please don't yell at your pharmacists. We're all on the same team. Thank you so much. So I'll probably have some more coffee. My husband and I are about to split a breakfast burrito that we ordered yesterday that we never ate because we decided to order pizza also. We had to take Danny to the vet to check up on a UTI situation, and by the time that whole event had taken place, we were like, it's lunchtime, let's get pizza. So we got pizza. So we're gonna eat the breakfast burrito and some tater tots. I want to also think about what my next plans for some future videos are. Basically, at the time of me recording this, I'm attempting to kind of like put together 3 to 4 videos to release all at the same time since my channel is so new, so we can all binge content together. I have no idea what I'm gonna do after that. My plan is to shoot and post 1 video per week. I have to really sketch out what the next couple of months are gonna look like for me as far as work and personal things go, and figure out what my recording and editing and posting schedule is going to be, because I really want to commit to this, and I want to do it because I like being part of the book community on Instagram so far, and there's just like another whole world of friendships and conversations to be had on booktube. I love watching booktube. I'm on YouTube all the time, so I was like, this is my goal for 2020. So like we're at the end of 2023 and I'm launching a new channel, but my goal long term is to really focus on making it successful into the new year, and I want to start off on the right foot by making sure that I am committing to my goals and my plans for the channel, executing. You know, it's hard when you write something down in a planner and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then you work an 8 to 10 hour day. Just takes it out of me some days, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to record a video when I get home, but the answer is yes, I am supposed to. So we're gonna work on scheduling some content out today, scheduling my work week out today. I want to do some editing on another video that I am working on, hopefully get some editing done maybe on this vlog once I get the filming done. Might rearrange some shelving because I have a whole TBR cart slam full of books that I've either collected or been pulling off the shelves for content that I need to put back, but my shelves are slam full, so I think some rearranging needs to happen. I want to clean up my office / recording space. I have a ton of laundry that I need to do, and I also want to start a new book, and I need something to, I don't know, maybe just remove it from my memory. I had really high hopes for this. It's literally blurbed by R.L. Stine, who is the author of Goosebumps. Chillingly creepy. You've been warned. It wasn't. Those are my loose plans for today. I'm gonna take you along for the ride right now. We're gonna go eat my breakfast burrito because my husband is surely texting me from the other room telling me that it's ready. So, welcome to the vlog. Let's do this. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours since my last update to how this Sunday reset vlog is going. A little bit of a setback. I started editing my last video with the card from my camera like still. When I put it into the card reader and connected it to my computer, it automatically opened an iMovie, like some screen that said to import. So I was like, yeah, of course. I think what I did was I just temporarily had like added the clips to iMovie, and I was editing the whole video on these clips that weren't actually saved to my computer. So I was taking the SD card in and out of the card reader to like put it back into my camera to continue filming. It would delete, like it wouldn't let me do anything. The clips were essentially there but not really there because it was working off of just the card reader and not like an actual local file on my computer. So anyway, all that's to say, I have to start over because I had to traditionally save the clips from my card reader to my computer and like my YouTube clip folder, whatever, and then load them into iMovie so they were like actually legitimately there. So I'm gonna work on that for a little while. I have another coffee. It is decaf espresso. It's a decaf Nespresso pod. I don't remember the name. I'll insert it here. It's really good. I'm having it with some brown sugar, oat milk creamer, and some regular oat milk. And I saw this pro tip on Olivia Reads a Latte for the oat milk to get the one that says barista blend, and it froths so much better than regular oat milk, and it's like so much creamier and tastier. So I'm really enjoying having oat milk instead of regular milk in my little Nespresso coffees. So I'm gonna drink this and hope that it placebo effect gives me caffeine without giving me an increased heart rate and or anxiety attack. and get back to / start over editing on my last video. And then I think I'm going to probably take a reading break. I'm not sure what I'm going to read next. I have some options in my head, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm in the mood for. I have a general October TBR that I'm kind of in, that's in my head. I do want to do an October, well, I did want to do an October TBR video, but honestly, the way that things are going, we're probably just going to have to skip ahead to November on the TBR thing. I also don't really stick to a TBR. I'm a super mood reader, so... But today's one of those days where I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I'm still so blown away by my reaction, like my visceral reaction to how much I didn't like Dead 11 when I was so excited for it. I don't know if I want to continue on the horror thriller thread that I was on for spooky season. I kind of read spooky all year long. I watch horror movies all year long. So, like, I'm obviously in the mood. I love Halloween, but it's not really that far off from what I consume on a daily basis anyway. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to read. We'll see. Let's do some editing. Okay, so I made it through like 30 minutes of editing and I already want a break. Getting used to editing is hard for me because I stare at a computer all day for my regular job, so trying to stare at a computer even further for now, what I'm considering to be my second job, is challenging. Like, all I want to do right now is snuggle up on the couch with my husband and my dog and read, which I am going to do for a little while, and work on some laundry and then come back to it. I think if I do it in chunks throughout, like if I make it like an editing day on days that I vlog, I think that could work out, because then I could just make the whole day like in and out of my office, edit a little, chill out a little, as long as we're not doing anything, which today is definitely one of those days. A lot of weekend days end up being like that. I just love being home with my animals in my little library. So that's the update for now. Still need to plan out my week and update my planner and think about some more content for both Bookstagram and for YouTube. Also meal planning loosely. Gotta check out my fridge and see what we might need, and definitely work on laundry. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know what to read next, so I have some options. So on my Kindle, I was so lucky to get approved for the arc of Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig, which is there she is, which is the follow-up to One Dark Window, which was her debut last year, and this was my favorite book of 2022, like by far. It follows our main character Elspeth, who lives in a kingdom called, oh god, I already forgot what it was called, Blunder. So she lives in Blunder, and here there is a magic, an evil magic that stems from the woods, and it all started when the Shepherd King many years ago in this kingdom made a deal with the evil in the woods to have more powers, and in exchange for those powers he gave a piece of himself up essentially to the darkness, and what that darkness gave him in order to fulfill like whatever magical power he was interested in. Cards. So the magic system is based on cards, and there's different abilities. So like the maiden card will, whoever holds it will make them beautiful, or like there's the scythe, I think, which makes you invisible. The longer that you use them, the more it drains you of whatever that thing is. If you're holding the one that makes you beautiful, like eventually you won't be able to function without it. So it gives, but it also takes. Whatever, that was a very long-winded. Anyway, so Elspeth kind of gets caught up in this political rebellion type of a situation with Raven, who is the love interest in the book, and he is actually part of the royal guard, but he also moonlights as a highwayman to fight against the royalty / his family because he doesn't believe what they believe in. They take children away that are like afflicted by the darkness. Anyway, there is like it's pretty invested but like easy to understand plot line. Don't know why that zoomed in, but anyway, that was so long-winded. My options here, I read 4 chapters of this and I'm already into it, but I've also forgotten a lot of the characters because I read this last year. So what I was thinking was pulling this out and kind of just flipping through, skimming it maybe for like an hour to get caught up, and then I could keep reading here, or I could pull something from the Perspective TBR. I just don't know what I'm in the mood for. I do feel like that right now. I would also read this. This is the 3rd book in the Remember Me series by Christopher Pike, which gives me intense nostalgia. I read these when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and the writing has definitely aged, and some of the topics have definitely not aged well, but it's super fun, and they're really short reads, and these covers are way cooler than the ones when I was younger. I've read 1 and 2 over the last couple months. I just read 2 the other day. I read it in one day because I just needed something really fast to get through, and that was it for me. This dude's partying, hanging out. I don't know. I'm gonna assess some options and then we'll get back to it. I forgot real quick. I do also have this as an option. This is the 2nd book in the Bloodsworn saga by John Gwynne, Hunger of the Gods. I talked about book 1 in the previous video of my favorite book so far, and I did get like 150 pages into this, I think is how far-ish I am. Where are we at? Page numbers are on the top. There's not one there. God, why do they do that? Okay, yeah. But I put it to the side because I wasn't quite feeling it at the time, but I'm thinking, you've already gotten 155 pages in and you just read the 1st book and you're actually working on the 2nd one, like, maybe you should continue. But I feel like I'm forcing myself to continue. But I also don't want to pause it and then start over, especially if I wait too long and then have to like reread the 1st one. My retention skills are just 0 when it comes to books. I love them, and then forget everything as soon as I close them. So that's an option as well. I could also go with the next book in Throne of Glass. I read book 1, Throne of Glass, depending on how you view the series. So I could go to Crown of Midnight while that's still fresh. But then I get guilty because I have about, I don't know, 35 unfinished series probably that I'm working on. Oh, I don't know why it's such a struggle. I quite literally have a library here. So many of these are unread, and still I'm looking at them like, I don't want to read any of them. And then I'll probably go to my Kindle and buy something, or fucking go to the bookstore right now and buy something. Peace out. Gonna figure out what to read and then snuggle up. so I didn't start with any of my other options that were like books that I had already started. I obviously chose to try to start an entirely new book. So I tried the first like 2-3 chapters of this, and I think it's gonna be an immediate DNF / go in my donate pile. The writing is just, I think this might be YA. YA is just tough for me. The first few paragraphs I thought were great, and then pretty much as soon as the main characters, who I imagine are going to be the main characters, were introduced, which is like every single one of them was described as exquisitely beautiful, perfect, stunning, gorgeous. And it's all a bunch of like teenage vampires in this like beautiful Hogwarts like hidden school in the mountains. And I just don't think that's the vampire vibe that I'm interested in at this point in my life. So I think this one's gonna be a DNF / donate, and I hope that somebody gets great love and enjoyment out of it. Not for me. I think I'm going to stick with Two Twisted Crowns on my Kindle. I did flip through One Dark Window to try to refamiliarize myself with some of the plot lines and characters and settings, etc., etc., etc. And I think I have enough of a grasp on what happened in book 1 that I can go on with book 2, and I'm already invested, way more invested than I was the first few chapters of this. So I'm going to continue on that. I'm going to take a little snack break as per usual. And then I do have to continue on my laundry as well. I do need to get back in my office and do some editing 150,000%, and I don't want to, which means it's probably the thing that I need to do the soonest, ASAPist, to get it over with. So yeah, that's the update. That's the reading update for the day. The reset part of the Sunday I think is going okay. I'm getting a pretty good chunk of my laundry done. I finished a book this morning. My apartment is clean. We have a grocery order coming. Clean my office. Clean the cat's litter boxes. Danny's taking her medicine. I think we're doing okay today. So hopefully I can muster up some energy at some point to get back in here and continue editing, because I have an hour's worth of footage that I need to cut down, and it's so much of me rambling that needs to get cut out. So here's hoping. Keep your fingers crossed for me. I could also just nap on the couch. We're gonna see. Okay, please excuse the horrible lighting in here. I ordered a new lighting setup, but it's not going to be here for a couple of days. Reading update. I have been switching back and forth between Two Twisted Crowns on my Kindle and Rouge by Mona Awad, as you have seen by now, while I was doing my laundry, and I'm about 10% into Rouge, and it's very interesting. It's captivating. Her writing is just captivating. I have no idea where the story is going to go. I kind of know what it's about because I watched a YouTube video about. I have been seeing it everywhere, obviously, because Mona Awad hype is really real right now. And it was available on my Scribed subscription, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I read Bunny earlier this year, or maybe last year, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know what happened, and I don't know what it was about, and I don't remember anything about it, but I know that I liked it, and it was really fun. And this is really fun so far. It seems to be going in the direction of, like, the beauty industry as a cult, and it's really blatant about it, which I kind of like. And it's also really fun to listen to all of the, like, made up skincare shit that our main character, like, just slathers all over her face. So I'm enjoying that for my audiobook. I haven't been able to get through audiobooks at work recently just because it's been so busy, and I feel like I've been using my brain at 150% capacity lately. So one of my reading goals that I want to work on going into 2024 soon is utilizing audiobooks more outside of work, where I can kind of appreciate them more and kind of like up my reading game again through audiobooks while I'm doing like chores and stuff like that. So that is why I have been switching back and forth between audiobook and physical Kindle book. Two Twisted Crowns is so good so far. I am loving it, and I'm so excited to make it my whole personality for the rest of the year, like I did with One Dark Window. And my favorite thing about this whole situation happening right now is my 1-year bookstiversary is on October 28th, I believe, and One Dark Window was my first post on my Bookstagram. So now I get to kind of almost exactly a year later post about Two Twisted Crowns, the sequel, an end to the duology, and I'm loving it. I'm about 30% in, and it's great. I'm really glad that I took the time to skim through One Dark Window because everything kind of came back to me, and Rachel Gillick just sucks you in. Her fantasy is so fun. This series gives me really fairy tale vibes, and it's really easy to read, fast-paced, fun. The characters are great. Something that I'm really loving is that you fall in love with Elspeth in One Dark Window, and then, no spoilers, the things that kind of happen at the end of that book set up Two Twisted Crowns to not be completely about her per se, or her POV the whole time, and you're getting a lot of action from the other characters that you didn't necessarily get in One Dark Window, and it's really endearing because they're all working together to kind of help Elspeth, and I'm just loving it. And there's a new romance budding that I didn't see coming, and it's perfect, and it reminds me of Nesta and Cassian from ACOTAR, and I'm just here for it. So I think I am going to be taking a break here in a minute from reading / laundry to make some dinner, and then get back to it, and hopefully maybe get to some editing. But as you can probably tell from my voice, I'm getting kind of sleepy, even though it's 7 p.m. I'm not sleepy, I'm just being lazy. I need to wake myself back up and get. Really large part of me wants to just veg out on the couch and continue reading them because I'm really enjoying both my audiobook and Two Twisted Crowns on Kindle right now. So that's the update, but we're gonna fit in some of the other things before bedtime, and then I think I'm gonna feel good when I wake up and I have everything checked off my list that I wanted to check off. So that's my update. See you in a little bit. for my last reading update for the day, I am still at about 30-ish% on Two Twisted Crowns, but I'm not like super tired to go to bed yet after making dinner and cleaning up. Put everything away, did dishes. I'm done with laundry for the day. I didn't do all my laundry, but I'm done for the day. But I completely washed, dried, and put away 2, maybe 3 whole loads today, which is better than I usually do, because what I usually do is let it all accumulate and never put it away, and then have to spend literally an entire day putting it away. So I did better than that. But I got 16% of the way through Rouge, and it's pretty good. It's moving a little bit slowly, but it's very interesting, and it's a cool concept. I haven't seen something like this in horror before, and I love beauty products, and I'm just as much of a participant in the industry as anyone else maybe that's watching this. So I think it's a pretty cool concept for a horror book, so I'm excited to see where it goes. So I might listen to like another half of a chapter that I was on for that, but I think what I'm gonna do is just call it a day. Didn't get as much editing done as I wanted to, but I think I will get up early tomorrow morning and try to get some done before work. And also yeah, I think I'll wake up tomorrow morning before work and try to get a little bit more done. So that's that. I'm gonna get cozy and keep reading for the rest of the night. All I want to do for the rest of the night is get cozy and read, so that's what I'm gonna do. Two Twisted Crowns has me in a chokehold already, and I haven't felt that way about a book in quite a long time. So I'm gonna ride that feeling while I have it, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.